good morning everybody. It's Monday morning. Well, actually it's Monday lunchtime. It's just gone midday. We've had a prayer meeting here this morning, so we haven't done much this morning, but Mike's now back out in the garage and getting on with the project, and I'll take you out there and share that with you in a bit. And he's probably going to need my help a bit later. So I thought I'd just quickly get a slow cooker meal on for us for tonight, then I'm free to help him through the rest of the afternoon and we can crack on out there with what needs to be doing. So I'll share that with you in a little bit. But first of all, I just thought I'd just let you know what I'm cooking. So I decided to try some of the recipes from the new slow cooker pinch of nom. You know it will be a pinch of nom. And so this one is chicken and red wine. So I'll turn you around and I'll just show you the ingredients that are going into this one. And then it's just in the slow cooker for 4 or 5 hours. And we'll have that later tonight and just do some potatoes or something to go with it. So, right, let's crack on with this. Okay, so this recipe uses chicken thighs, boneless and skinless, so that they're as healthy as possible. This is a recipe for 4. So I've got 4 thighs here, which is 1 each. I'll decide tonight whether we want more than that when it comes to it, but I think it'll be okay. And the first thing I need to do is brown these off. So I'm just going to pop these into the pan and brown those off. And while they're browning off, I'm just going to chop up some carrots, some onions, some mushrooms. I've got some garlic to add in, and then there'll be tomato puree, red wine stock cube, and some other bits of herbs. Let me just check the recipe. So we're going to add in the red wine stock, some thyme, some garlic granules, and then at the end some bay leaves, and then at the end just mix up some corn flour to thicken it a bit. So I'll get on and do that, and then I'll show you when it's all in the pan ready to go into the slow cooker. So there we go, that's all in the slow cooker now. So it's the chicken with the carrots, the mushrooms, and the garlic and some onion. I've put in a red wine stock cube, and I've actually added a chicken oxo as well because I wanted to make it a little bit richer. There's some thyme and some garlic granules. So hopefully that'll be really lovely for dinner tonight. We can get on now with what's going on outside. I don't know if you can hear, you probably can't hear it in the background, but I can hear Mike sawing out there and drilling. So I'm going to go out and see what help he wants. But before we do that, I thought I'd just remind you of the book that I've used for this one. So this is actually French style chicken in red wine, and this comes from one of the newer Pinch and Nom books, the slow cooker book. So if you're interested in that, you'll find that on there. And I think it's about 265 calories per portion before I obviously add in things like potatoes tonight, and that will add to it. But still, that's going to be a really healthy meal tonight. So I'm going to head outside now. Well, I'm going to clear up the kitchen first, and then I'll head out and see how Mike's doing, and we'll catch up with what's going on out in the garage. All right, so I'm back out in the garage, and just to sort of show you what I know it's not very exciting, but then as it gets done, I think you can see what's forming. So hopefully it will make some sense to you. If you're interested, if you're not, just shoot by, you know. But I just thought I'd show you what Mike's done today. So if you remember, let me just turn you around. He put the ceiling in on Saturday with my son, and as you can see, he's now put the lighting in. So I've got strip lighting. We've got strip lighting in here, which is great. It's now got proper lighting to see what we're doing, which is lovely. And so now he's starting to put the panels on the wall to provide insulation. So as you can see, he's built the grid of wood, and then if I just show you around here, I think you can see there's the insulation going into each of the sections, which I thought he might need my help with, but at the moment he seems to be doing fine. So insulation goes into each of those panels, and then once that's in, the plasterboard will go over the top of that. So am I right?
You might be.
Here's the man who's hard at work. One of the things I think I might have mentioned before, I'm not sure, you can watch him do this while I'm talking to you. One of the things, I'm not sure I mentioned it before, but a few years ago, we put the cabin and the shed into the garden. So the cabin is my sewing cabin, which you will have seen me in the past, and I will get back in there again at some point. And Mike had a shed which is now been kitted out as his carpentry shed. So he has all sorts of lovely tools up there. So he's actually backwards and forwards between here and the shed is up past the vegetable garden up there, cutting wood and then bringing it down. So just putting a few more cross bits in.
Well, yes, because I've just been told the project manager has decided that she may need some shelves.
Yeah.
So I'm adding a little bit of strengthening so that I've got something to attach shelves to.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I am not the project manager, I hasten to add. Mike is totally in control of this, but every so often he will ask me what I might need, and I'm trying to tell him. But to be quite honest, just to have a contained space for the laundry and some storage is going to be fabulous. Anyway, I'm going to leave him to get on with that. As you can see, the wiring's been put in behind. Let me just show you down here. So the wiring's been put in there, so that's where the power socket is going to go. Yeah, it's coming on. And then he's got to do the same along the wall over here with the door in it, the wall over here with the window in it, all of which are a little bit more complicated than the straight wall over there, which is why he's starting with that one. And then, of course, the partition wall's got to go up and the same's got to happen. But bit by bit, section by section, we will get there. And then we've got all the fun things like choosing what we're going to put on the floor and arranging everything. So, yeah, we will get there ultimately. I'm going to let him get on with this. And I'll go and find something else to do if he doesn't need my help.
I shall do shortly.
He will do shortly, that's good. I think probably to put the plasterboard up, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, to hold the plasterboard, okay. All right, we'll catch up with you later then when it comes to plasterboard, I guess. So, obviously what's got to happen now is as this is all going in, where the power points have got to come out, they've got to be cut out for them to go in. So that's what Mike's trying to do at the moment. Is sort out how he puts the power point in. So you've got to cut the insulation as well for it to go in, so you can drill it, so you can screw it to the wall. It's too springy, you can't screw it through it, can you? No. So it's to cut out as you go. So all these little bits, you come across it all looks straightforward, and there's little bits and pieces like this, but there we go. So if you cut that out to put the power point in.
Cut rights on anything.
Mike's always been a lover of Sharpies.
Right, and then that can come round in there, and that will go out there. Oh, that's okay.
Right, we'll let him sort that one out. I think once he's then got all the insulation out and think about, we might be able to get on with putting the plasterboard up, see how far he gets today.
That might be tomorrow now.
I think that might be tomorrow now. So I'm going to leave him to get this bit done, and then maybe tomorrow morning we'll get out here together to get that up. And we'll go out tomorrow afternoon, so we need to get it done in the morning. Right, I'll leave you to that then.
Right, okay.
Right, so it's nearly time for dinner. So the casserole's keeping warm in the air fryer, in the slow cooker, and I've just put the air fryer on to heat up. I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing for potatoes, because this is one of Mike's favourites and he's worked so hard all day. I wanted to do the potatoes he loves. So I think they call them parmentier. I just call them cubey potatoes. So basically I cut the potatoes up into little cubes. So just a couple of potatoes cut up into cubes. And then let me just turn you down so you can see what I'm going to do next. Okay, so now just put a bit of oil in on top of those and toss them around in the bowl to get them all nice and coated with the oil. Another little bit in. I just use ordinary vegetable oil, you could use olive oil, whatever you want. And then I'm just going to get my salt and pepper. And a grind of pepper. Quite a lot of grind of pepper, because once again Mike really loves pepper, and so do I. And a little bit of salt, not too much, otherwise they get too salty. Right. And then once, okay, so that's all the little cubies. And once the air fryer's ready, I'll just pop those in the air fryer about 10 minutes, maybe 15, depending on how well they do. There it is, ready to go. And then I'll dish those up and I'll show you our evening meal, which I'm really looking forward to. Right, so there you go. That's chicken in a red wine and with the little cubey potatoes. So that's our meal for tonight after lots of work today. Well, good morning again, everybody, and it's Tuesday morning now, and as you can see, we're back out in the garage. So as you can see behind me, Mike has put all the insulation into that wall, and so this morning our job is to try and get the plasterboard up, which is why I'm out here, because I think I'm going to need to do some holding while he does some drilling. But let me just turn you around and show you. At the moment, Mike is just measuring up the plasterboard. It's about the right width, but it has to be a little bit shorter, so she's cutting a bit off the end. And then once he's done that, we'll have to get round here behind the new freezer and the fridge, which will be going in here ultimately, and get the plasterboard up onto this wall to insulate it. And then once we've done that, I think the next we need to get some flooring down before we can put the freezer and the fridge back in place, but that's okay. And if I come down here behind here, you can see down this side is where the washing machine is going to be. And later today, our friendly plumber who does all our little jobs for us, he's absolutely brilliant. We've got a local guy and he's really helpful. He's popping round because we just might need some of that pipe work moved so it can be on the outside of the insulation, not behind it, because obviously you need to be able to get to pipe work if we have any problems. So there are all the bits and pieces for today. So we'll get on with that and I'll let you see what we end up doing today. We've only got this morning, so we've got to go out this afternoon. So we're hoping to get this bit done today.
Right, plasterboard's very easy to work with. All you do is run a sharp blade up one side and then take your clamp off. All you do is that. And then you just trim down through the paper on the other side. And there you have it. Untrimmed bit of plasterboard.
And this is now the size we need to put up on the wall, yeah? Hopefully.
It should be.
Okay, well let's find out. So that first piece is in. Wasn't easy because obviously with the height of the garage, manoeuvring large sheets is quite difficult. We had to take it outside so we could bring it in at an angle, because otherwise it was too high to get underneath where the door opens on the garage, because it's a rollover door. But it's in there, so Mike's now just going to put the first few screws in. He's got it propped on a couple of bits of wood at the bottom, which will then come out. So get that screwed on and we'll see if that's working. But it looks like it is, and it will look so much better in here with that. But it did take two of us to carry it in, so it's good job I was here as well.
That is pretty good for level.
Oh, Mike's just checking the level. What are you checking the level with? Oh, you're looking for Mike. Well, I can't actually point this at it because it will flash on it. But there's a little.
It's a laser.
What level. Is it? It's a laser level, so he's able to check everything as we go. All the tools. It does make a big difference if you've got the right tools for the job.
Right. So that's in and level.
Good.
So that's okay.
Good.
I have to go around. That's it. That one's in. That's not going anywhere now. So the next thing to do is just flex this out and get these out.
Oh, it's come off the wall, Mike, at the top. It has come out.
Alright, now we'll go right through. Okay.
Pull right through the plasterboard, can it? Alright.
Yeah, it can.
You can't pussy them in too far or they'll just... Yeah. Sorry, you've got a nice view of Mike's rear there. Trying to get this lined up again. Let me do that end.
Another one in here.
Yeah.
Right. Lift it up.
Do you want my help?
Okay.
Right.
Right. There's my mark at the top.
It's all marked up so he knows where the battens are behind it. Right.
Straightish.
Okay, so that's just secured at the top, and now we'll put some more securing screws in. Okay, so Mike needs to find where the board is, where the batten is behind to secure it. So he's using his laser measurer, that's what it's called, laser level, to find the point. You see, I hope you can see the green laser lines on there. And that's all, he knows all that because if I take you around here, whoop, well, he comes around this way. He's got all these plans he's drawn out on the computer. If you remember right at the beginning, he said it was in his head and on the computer. Well, it is. So here's the plan, shows where all the wiring's going, where the battens go. So I actually think my man knows what he's doing, don't you? He's very clever. And loves doing it. I know he does. So until it all goes wrong, but it's not gone wrong yet. So. Good.
60.
I found the point, and now you can put a screw in there and secure it down the middle as well, using those lines, using the laser lines. So we've got that one in, and we've got the other one to do, which I think needs a little bit more cutting down, so it will take us a few moments to get that in place, but we're getting there. That'll be one wall done, the easiest wall because it hasn't got anything, hasn't got any windows or doors in it. Right, let you know when we get on to the next panel. Okay, so we've got the second panel up, so that's just being screwed in, which is good. And that now fits nicely along this wall, and then the partition goes just beyond this, so it's going to come down from there, which is great. But that will be a little while yet because all the walls have got to be done. Walls to do, floor to do. But as we said when we came back from holiday, we're not in any rush. It's just bit by bit we'll get it done. And then I'll show you over here, our plumber has been in. He's gone to get another bit, but so he's disconnected the pipe and brought it out ready. He's just got to do the drainage bit as well. And we'll just take the washing machine out of use while Mike gets this bit done, and then our plumber will come back and put the piping in front of the new insulated wall. So it's beginning to take shape, bit by bit. But guess what Mike said just now? Get this bit up and I'll have a coffee, of course. Nearly coffee time. Well, good morning everyone, and it's now actually Wednesday morning. Mike's at work out in the garage again, and I'll probably take you out there again a bit later as he gets on with that out there, and I think I'm probably going to need to help him again at some point today. But I wanted to do something I wanted to do something else this morning, and I was just going to get on with it. I thought, oh, maybe I'll share it because it might be useful to you. So one of the things I love my plants. I love my garden, but I also love having indoor plants. And one of the things I've done over the last few years is to buy small plants, so in little pots, and then gradually grow them on, just for the last couple of years. And some of them have grown on quite a bit now, and I want to transplant them into another pot. And I had to wait because I needed to get the soil that I wanted to get, which is a houseplant soil. What I discovered a couple of years ago when I started doing this was that if I actually used a soil that was a houseplant soil, I was more successful than if I tried to use the potting soil that we use in the garden. So I'm going to do that. So I'll just show you what I'm using, and I'll show you just repotting one. I mean, repotting's repotting, it's not that difficult. But I thought I'd just show you what I do and show you the plants that I've got. So let me turn you down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is the first one I want to repot. So this started off in one of these little pots like this. And this one is even bigger than the little things. When I buy them, they're probably about 3 of the leaves in there. If you can see that, can you see that? So this one had just about 3 leaves, and this is growing. So I'm going to want to repot this today. And then I need to go and buy another little one to go in this pot. But that's how this one started. If you can see it, that's how this one started. So this is a lovely variegated. I never know what the name of my houseplants are. I just buy them by what they look. So, but all of these are good houseplants for absorbing moisture and cleaning the air. So that's the other reason why I use them. So this one I really want to repot today, and I want to put it into, I've got this lovely big, if you can see this lovely big stone pot that I had another plant in years ago. And when we cleared out the utility, I found all my pots, which is sort of what got me into this. So I've got a pot this size, and I want to take this out of there, and as you can see, I think you can see from the bottom there's a lot of roots coming through at the bottom, so it is quite root bound. Can you see that? Sorry, I keep forgetting the angle I've got the camera. There's lots of roots in here, so I'm just going to lift this out if I can. There we go. Right, and now you can see all the roots around the outside. So in the same way as I do when I do the plants, I will break these away a bit. I'm going to put some soil in the bottom of there, and then put this one in. So I just need to open my bag of soil and show you what I've got. So just pop that back in there for a moment, and let me get the bag of soil and show you what I'm using. Okay, so this is the soil I'm using. It's a houseplant repotting mix, and I found this at all the local garden centres. We popped into one of our garden centres yesterday while we were out, and I picked this up. So this, and it's much better for houseplants. It's got the right sort of nutrients, and it's lighter. It's not as heavy as the potting compost for the garden. So I'm just going to my pot there so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to open this up. Put the gardening gloves on so I don't get soil down my fingernails. Right. I'm just going to put some of this in the bottom here. I've got a cloth on the worktop in the hope that I don't spoon. I was going to do this outside, but it's really windy today. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's really windy. And I was like, no, that's not going to work out there today in the high wind. So I just find somewhere to put this. Right, so now I'm going to take this out of this pot. Just going to pull this. It is very, very dry and very, very pot. Now, most of the houseplants need keeping fairly dry, but these need pulling out so they can get down into that nice new soil. And then I will put there we go. All right, I'll put that in there. So that's about right. That's about the right height. And now I'll just fill in with the rest of the soil. And then I'll give it a good water and put it in that lovely pot. Sorry, I've got too many things trying to put them in a space where you can see them, and that's not working. So should have probably just been a bit more sensible in how I put things out, but never mind. Right, see how that's going down around there. Just a little bit more, I think. I am quite messy when I do things like this, I'm afraid. But if I just, let's see if I can, this soil is actually quite fine, you see. Right, that's in there, I think. I do wonder whether actually I might put the soil up a little bit higher on the stem. I think that might be a bit better for it. Right, there we go. And I can put that in there, and that will grow on nicely into a much bigger plant, and I can put that around the house. So I'm going to go on and do that, but one of the other pots I've got, I bought these a while ago. I got these off Amazon, and these are self-watering. So you plant the plant into there, which is the hole. Then you've got these wicks, which you just thread through the two holes either side. See if I can do that now. Oh, sorry, down through. That was working, but I don't seem to be doing very well now. Hang on. Down through that hole and that hole. I'm not sure how much of this you can actually see as I'm trying to do this, sorry. Right, there we go. And then they hang down underneath like that, yeah? And then that slots in, into the bottom like that. And what you do is you fill up just the bottom well in the pot, and then put your plant in there, and it self-waters. It takes up the water it needs. And when we went away to Lanzarote for 3 weeks, I just watered everything before we went. And when we came back, everything was doing beautifully. In fact, probably looked the best it had ever looked. So one of the tricks I've really realised with houseplants is to not overwater. They don't need lots of water. Anyway, so I'm going to get on and do a few more of these. Let me just show you what I've got. I've got 2 of these prayer plants. If you know these, they curl up at night. So I've got this one, and I've got one that's got red veins in it. So I think that one I might leave for the moment. It's doing okay, but this one definitely needs repotting. I've got another one similar to what I just done, and it really hasn't done anything. And when I looked, it's very pot bound, so I'm hoping that by repotting, I won't necessarily put it in a bigger pot, but repotting and giving it a bit of fresh soil, it might take off. This one definitely needs to go in so it can take off a bit more. And then I've got, as I showed you, the little snake plant that I really want to get repotted, and I've got an aloe vera over there as well. So I'm going to get on and do those, and then find them homes around the house, and then probably, what is it? Yeah, it might be time for coffee, and then after coffee I'm probably going to need to help Mike. So I'm going to get on with this, and I'll let you see them all once they've been repotted. Okay, so there you go. They are potted up in their new pots. The only thing I haven't been able to do is I've got a couple of orchids. People often give me orchids as presents. This one here was a gift from the head teacher when I left my governor role. And the others have come, they've always been gifts. And I used to give up on them because they don't flower, but what I've discovered is that actually if I look after them, they seem to flower every other year. I don't know, if you know anything about orchids, let me know. I have no idea. I've got one in the lounge, which is flowering. I'll show you that in a minute. These 2 have flowered last year, so I'm wanting to freshen them up. And I thought I had some orchid potting, because that's very different. It's like little bits of bark and things. So I haven't. So I've had to put this one into a new pot because it was really, let me just lift it and you'll see. Look, the roots, and you do need them to get to the air, but not quite that much. So I need to get some to go in there. But other than that, there they are. So I'm just going to now get some baby bio and mix that into my little watering can and give them all a good water. And then I'll find places all around the house for them. And there you go, that's the orchid that I said, I've had that a couple of years. It flowered a couple of years ago when it was given to me. I think it was a Mother's Day present, but it is just flowering again. I hope you can see that. Let me just move it so the light's not behind it. You might see it a bit better. There you go. So it's flowering beautifully now. So it is worth persevering, I think, because they are so beautiful, aren't they, when they flower? And they're all three of them are slightly different. Right, I'm going to go and water the others and get them put around the house, and then I think it'll be time for coffee. A few drops of Baby Bio. And I'm just going to give them all a good water so they can get settled into their new homes. The ones with the watering reservoirs underneath, I'll water this way to start with, but then I'll water them from underneath from now on. Right, I've got a few more plants around the house, so I'll go and water them with the remainder of that. And that's that job done. Well, you can see where we are. Mike is back in the garage, hard at work. I didn't record anything yesterday because he was doing lots of little bits and pieces, and it was more difficult to sort of get out here and show. But on this wall that we put in the other day, you can see he's now put in the sockets for over there, so that's great. And he's put the framework in round the window. And our friendly plumber guy is coming back shortly to move all this stuff down here, because we're going to move the washing machine down this end, and we want to try and get all the supply and waste to it in this corner, so Mike can just box that in and then it's not in the way of the rest of the work we're doing. So he's coming back to finish that off later. And then what will you need to do once he's done that?
Once that's in position, then I can sort out the framework under the window.
Right.
And once I can get rid of that lump of raised concrete down in the corner,
dear.
I can begin to think about laying the first little bit of flooring so that I can get the freezer and the fridge.
Because I'm quite keen to get the freezer and the fridge in place so that I can start. I haven't been able to use the freezer yet, and we're sort of getting to the point where we can't have that. We haven't got any freezer space. So we did go shopping this morning, but I sort of held back on freezer stuff because the substitute freezer that we're using for the moment isn't as big, and I can't get as much in there. So I'm going to leave Mike getting on with this because the sun's come out. I think I'm just going to go out for a little bit of a walk. But before I do, I thought I'd just show you what I did pick up at Aldi this morning. Always have a quick look at their plants, these. You never know what they've got. And let me take you around front garden. Oh, before I show you those, do you remember those little tiny bulbs? Well, if you were with me back in the autumn, you know I put some little bulbs in here. They're just coming up, these little pink and blue. I think they will multiply over time, but they're rather pretty, aren't they? Let me show you one. Quite lovely little star-shaped. But what I picked up this morning at Aldi was a couple of lovely anemones. So this one's gone in at the front here. And they're lovely because they spring, they have that lovely black centre. I mean, that one's just going over, but the new one will open. And they're spring flowers. So they've given me something in this bed before the irises, which are coming up now. And then, of course, we'll have all the roses and other stuff later. But I was a bit short on spring stuff out here. So I got another one, and the purple one I put in here. And we've got tulips coming up in here as well. But I've got a big geranium that comes up here, but that won't come up till later. So as that dies down, geranium can come up. So yeah, anyway, the sun's out, as you can see. It's a lovely day, so I'm going to head off for a walk. I might show you a few bits. I'm only going to walk down to the seafront early on, but I might show you a bit of the sea when I get down there. I thought while I was just walking along here down towards the beach, I just fill you in. I actually went to see that musculoskeletal guy this morning at the surgery. So basically they're more advanced physios with a knowledge of joints and muscle and, well, musculoskeletal, what he says. Anyway, it's absolutely brilliant. I tested out absolutely everything, and it was me worrying, it was arthritis and bones giving way, but it's not. It's actually muscular. So my thigh muscles and my glutes, my butt, on the right hand side, are not as strong as on the left. and because of the weakness they've put a pressure on a band of some sort that goes through from the hip down to the back of the knee, and that's what's been causing the problem, as well as the fact that there's a pinched nerve as well. So he's through all that. He's supposed to send me information later on, but he's also referring me to physio and for a bone density scan, which is not a bad thing now. I'm in my 70s, I guess, just in case there's any bone issues, and that'll give a x-ray of the hip as well to see what else might be going on there. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, he said get painkillers if I need them, but he's also going to send me loads of exercises. So now I know what's really going on, so I thought I'd come out for a walk today. I don't want to give up walking, it's my exercise. And the other thing he said was to keep weight off. I'm not going to keep the weight off if I don't get out and walk. So that's why I thought I'd get out for a walk. I'm going to try and get out and do quite a bit more over the next few weeks. But I also need to sort of exercise and rest so I don't put any more pressure on it. So I should have all the info through from him later today, I hope. But yeah, it's not arthritis, no need for hip or knee replacements, which is what I was dreading. So yeah, and with some proper exercise, hopefully I can strengthen it all up again. So that's why I'm out for a walk. So let's head on down to the beach and let me show you a bit of the sea. Well, if you've been with me before, you know this is one of my absolute favourites, just coming up from the end of the little walkway down, the alleyway down from us, and coming up to this view. Absolutely beautiful. The Isle of Wight, clear as anything out there today, and actually the sun's come out. It's actually quite warm now. I did put a coat on and I've got a sweatshirt on, but it's actually quite warm once that wind drops. We've had a very cold wind the last few days, but it seems to have dropped, so it's really lovely now. And they've been out and cut the grass down here, but look at that view out to the Isle of Wight, and a lot of people out walking their dogs. It's so peaceful. I'm just going to walk down here and have a little sit and look out to sea. I love it at the moment because it's so quiet. Obviously we're only just over a week away from Easter now, and all the visitors will start coming in, so it'll get a lot busier. But at the moment, this is our home and our place. I just absolutely love it. You can see here though, we've lost a bit of quite a sizable chunk of cliff here. Has just gone. You can just see that. Hang on, if I come down here, you might have to see it better. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to go down myself. But that's why these signs are up all the way along here, because it really is quite dangerous with the anyway. So if I come down here, you'll see, if you can see that, you can see we just literally lost a bit of cliff. It's still got the grass growing on it. Oh, see, that bit has just recently gone, and it's gone all the way down. So this is why you can't walk along this bit here. It's just far too dangerous. You can see that fall there, gradually coming further and further back. But there's a long way to go before it gets to the houses. I mean, I know they have moved the benches back a couple of times over the years, but I'm going to come and have a little sit on this bench and enjoy the view out. There's the Isle of Wight, and all the way around. It's Hengistbury Head sticking up over there, and then in the distance, Paul, Swanage, all the way around to the Dorset coast and the Jurassic coast. We are so fortunate to live somewhere like this. What a place to sit and enjoy the sunshine for a few moments. It looks like the bluebells are just beginning to come out. It seems quite early to me, and we have some lovely bluebell walks locally, so I might need to get out and try and do one of those before too long if they're coming out already. But yeah, just under this bit of woodland here by the cliff top. I haven't been down here since New Year, well, just after New Year. I think I did a walk along here. Can't remember if it was New Year or not, about that sort of time, I know, or winter walk. I haven't been down since we got back from holiday because of money. And this has happened since as well. A whole new building project going on over there. There's a new one there, and this one's getting converted as well. So what's happening over there? And that's rather a modern building for along there. I never know, I mean, it's lovely, but does it fit? I don't know, tell me what you think. I'm never sure. And it looks like we've lost another lump of cliff down here by the looks of things. So I tell I haven't been down here for a little while. That's all the storms and rain we had in February while we weren't here, while we were in Lanzarote. And obviously we had a couple of landfalls by the looks of it. So there was a time where there is now just a cliff edge. That was the path I used to walk along. And this wider one was always the back path, but the near path is pretty much gone. Well, has gone in most places now. It shows you how much has worn away, but it is when you get those terrible winter storms and the heavy rain, it just washes it down. So you can see there's another bit up here. It's got washed away. But there's some folks walking along the beach bit, which is fine. You can walk along there, just obviously not up the top here where it might fall on you. But yeah, what a beautiful day. I just hear the waves. It's not really quite still today, just a bit of sound of waves. Oh, this is just what I needed. Like, so breathing, don't you, and just enjoying the beauty and the peace and that lovely sound of the sea. We are so fortunate to live here. So this is our lovely restaurant place down here and bar, the Cliff House. You can see they've got their summer furniture out now, all the cushions out. As the weather's bound to improve, they will be heaving over Easter, I expect. But lovely place, lovely food, and this garden. And that little corner over there with those padded seats, you can see that's my favourite little spot to sit and have a gin and tonic. It's one of the things my son loves to do, is to walk down here with us when we get a gin and tonic. So as the weather warms up, we might do that. And over there was where they had their winter sort of cabin place, but obviously now we're all moving outdoors. So a few people here having lunch. It's a nice sunny day. It's a bit of a chilly breeze, but with a coat or a jumper on, really nice. Right, I'm going to head on and head back round and head home and see how Mike's doing. I was coming past this end, you can see they're all set up for the outdoor bar. That'll all be opened up probably next weekend. It might be open up this weekend, I don't know. They have accommodation here as well. It's very, very popular, and it's just at the end of our road really, so we're very fortunate. But yeah, their decking area outside here as well. And they have a couple of other restaurants nearby, one in Milford, one in Lymington, all part of the same group. Started here. My daughter, when she was living with us before she went off overseas, she worked here for a little while. Really loved it. I think because everyone that comes down is always in such a good mood because of the beautiful view that you get. I mean, this is the view you get sitting here. Can't get much better, can it? Right, that's a bit of cloud coming over, but it's still really nice. Okay, I am now definitely going to head off back. So just coming down our road, I just love this time of year when all the blossom comes out. The early ones all out in blossom, but all the way down here, all the trees down the street are blossom trees. You get all the cherry blossom. It's just beautiful, isn't it? I love it. Really lovely. All the way down. So there's white ones, and then the pink ones are just beginning to come into flower as well. Down here. Just real sign of spring. I love it. And yeah, our cherry tree in the garden, despite looking quite sick, has got beginning to get blossom on it. So I'll show you that when it comes out. But that lovely, real sign of spring. Right, let's go and see how Mike's getting on. There he is, putting the front on these electrical points. So then we'll be able to plug in the freezer and the fridge and various other things along there if we need to. Right, it won't be long before he might want some lunch, although we had a very big bun with our coffee, so we might not bother with lunch today. I don't know, we'll have to see. Mike's just gone, but there, you can see what he's doing there. Oh, we could have at least cleaned it. Let me come round here. There you go. Just getting those on. Double sockets, which would be really useful. Right. Good, so our plumber's been in and he's turned the waste pipe round the other way. And then there's the water supply, which he'll put in properly once Mike's boxed it all in, and we can put the washing machine where we want it to go. So that's a really good job done. So this bit here will get boxed in, and then it'll be from this support here. The washing machine will come up and we'll have worktop and everything all the way around. So it's looking okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming on. It's coming
What's
on.
the other thing you've just come across to do with the flooring, wasn't it? What did you say to me just now?
Yeah, because it's a concrete floor, we need to put a damp-proof membrane down.
Right.
Because there's a damp patch in the middle.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they recommend putting a
Oh yeah, I see there's a damp patch there.
damp-proof course in.
Yeah.
So that will be coming from Screwfix when I can get over there.
Right, okay. So I've put that down before we put down the underlay.
So, yeah,
and
it's,
then
it's just a sheet of plastic basically.
Right, okay.
And then these bits of
Underlay.
wood fibre underlay.
Yeah. And then my lovely flooring.
And then the flooring, which is over there.
Oh, you brought it in from the car. Let me just show everybody then.
Brought it in, but you won't see much because it just
No.
looks like a grey bit of
It looks
concrete.
like a grey bit of concrete, but this is actually...
Covering up.
Which is what, yeah. He said this will be cleanable, water resistant, and a lot neater. And then at the moment, I'm hoping I found some cabinets I want to put in. If they will work, we've still got to work that out. But they have got a sort of dark grey frontage, and with the colour of the fridge and the freezer, I think that will look quite nice against that concrete flooring. But anyway. Right, I think it's time for a hot cross bun and a cup of tea.
Oh, definitely. Well, hot cross bun anyway.
I'll have the cup of tea. Okay, so it's Friday afternoon. I'll just come out to see what Mike's up to. So he's going to tell us what he's got, what he's doing and what he's got to.
So here's a little trick I learned off YouTube. I've already drilled through the 2x2 and into the wall. So one screw, one plug. Tap it in with your hammer. And screw it up.
So that actually puts the what do you call it? The plastic thing, the plug into the wall
hole.
for you. Oh, it's clever. So what are you doing here? Oh, you're boxing in the
We're boxing in.
all the stuff for the washing machine.
Yep. So that's all boxed in. There's your power socket for the washing machine.
Yeah.
That's where that's going to be. That'll have plasterboard, that'll have plasterboard, that'll have plasterboard.
And just leave this bit open so we can get into the gubbins if we need to.
Yep.
Good. And then once we can plasterboard down that end, we can look at getting some flooring down and getting the freezer and fridge back in place.
I want to get the flooring down before we do much more, because
Right, okay.
otherwise it's a bit tricky getting it under the plasterboard.
Oh, right, okay.
So anyway, progress, Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, still a little way to go.
Right. Well, I'm going to leave Mike working because I'm just getting food. So we've got a friend coming for dinner tonight. So I'm just going to go in and make a rhubarb crumble with the rhubarb that was left from last summer that we put in the freezer. So I'm going to go and do that. I'll leave Mike at work and I'll catch up with him again later. So welcome back to the garage. It's Saturday morning and just going to start trying to get flooring down. So at the moment Mike's behind me, as you can see. He's putting down a waterproof membrane. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, waterproof membrane, because obviously this is a concrete floor in an outside garage, so it needs some protection underneath on the concrete before we start putting down the underlay and the flooring. So let me just turn you around. There we go, Mike's. So that's the membrane, so we have to roll that up to bring it in. It isn't ideal. Ideally we'd like to have the whole thing empty and get the floor down, but we can't. There's nowhere else. We can't shift this big freezer. We have managed to shift some of the other stuff over here, the fridge and that, but so it's working quite a contained space, but he's doing quite well. So we'll get that down and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Right, so the protective film thing is down, and now Mike's just putting down the underlay. So we got this. It's a wood. Is it a wood chip underlay?
It's a wood fibre based.
Wood fibre based underlay. So we thought that would work quite well. And it just comes in these panels, big pack of it. So that's the underlay, and then it'll be getting the laminate flooring down on top of it, which is the harder bit. I'll let you see once he's underway with that.
So I've got to measure the midpoint so I know how to build out from that central plank.
Right. So this is a laminate floor. As you can see, it looks pretty much like the wall. But I thought it would contrast well with the grey of the freezer and the fridge. And then depends what else we put in here.
Right.
I didn't really want wood effect. It didn't feel right in a garage.
Right, I'm going to have to get down on the floor. So ground level.
Using this. So this is the other laser measure, or whatever it's called. If you can see the little red dot down there. We can measure the distance. I don't know if you've ever had anyone come around and measure up for things. I usually use one of those these days.
0.5 exactly. So I want 1.25 along the wall for the midpoint.
Be better off if I come around the other side of him, but see if I can get. I can't really get around.
1.25, which is there. And it's actually, well, of course, it's going to be 1 point. Yes, it's going to be 5 centimetres. Look at that. 2 mil out.
Okay.
Right.
Mike's very good at doing things by eye.
So that's your
Comes from all his design background, I think.
So here.
So this is laminate flooring, but when it's down, it will look like tiles.
That needs to be 62. And that needs to be 59. So 60. So if I move everything 1 centimetre that way. That one can be 60. That one can be 60's coming out to there. Yeah, 60, and these are get it on the actual edge. These are 1290.
So you'll get 2 lots of 60 out of that. Yes?
I'll cut one in half
Yeah, and take it from there.
and take it from there.
Okay.
That'll give me both ends.
Yeah. So here you have a first look at Mike's shed. Let me just show you from outside. Mike's just sorting out how to cut that, but the kids gave him, I don't know if you can see that, a sign to go over the door that says Grandpa's Shed. So we've got all his tools and equipment, so this is where he gets it all cut up and prepared. So he's just about to try and cut the panel.
Yeah, but two ways of doing it, neither of which are perfectly
Right.
ideal. But I might do it on the chop saw. Or I can do it in 2 halves. I can get half down that way and then turn it over and do the other half. It won't give me a perfect edge. Or I can do half on here and half on there. That's the other way of doing it. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do.
You can actually cut it on the line of the tile line, can't you? Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just lining it up so that's exactly where it is. Right, there we go. Unfortunately, it won't go right to the end, so I'm going to have to finish it a different way by using the table saw. I first need to clean it off. The easiest way would just be to set up a circular saw and do it, but why do it the easy way when you can have more fun doing it this way?
And this is part of the fun. Mike loves playing with all these tools. I guess some of you might have husbands out there that are like this, or some of you guys might be the same. But he's just going to, so he's, hang on, let me come around this side. Let's get into this side here then. Let's see what he's doing. Okay.
I've done one, it's going to be a much easier job to do the rest.
Right.
So I may need to trim one of these down.
Right, okay, let's I'm going to just turn this off and we'll take it down to the garage.
This end. So that needs to have a little bit taken off it. That's off that. This end needs to have right. So I need to measure these so I can trim them down to the right size.
Well, we'll let you do that and I'll come back when you're ready to put those down. Probably is the easiest thing.
I think so.
So that's the first piece laid, and Mike has this like block and hammer. This isn't the first time he's laid laminate. When we did you've seen the kitchen and dining room in the past, but probably not noticed the flooring as such. But this flooring in here, Mike laid that all the way through. We had a really good friend who was a fabulous carpenter. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year, very, very sad. But he put the kitchen in for us and Mike helped him, so they did that together. And then it was Mike who laid the laminate floor. So it's not the first time he's done it. So I know we can. So yeah, it's just about getting it down here, but we're going to have to do it bit by bit because having to move everything around, it's much easier if the whole thing had been empty. So that's that bit going in down there, but obviously he's got to cut a notch out of that one because of that concrete pillar, but I actually think this will work quite nicely as flooring. So they sort of they click into each. Oh, this isn't click though. This is just pushing, isn't it? This one.
Well, same thing.
Same idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clicks.
So if I come down, you can see there are little grooves and bits that stick out as well. So they slot into each other, and you just have to tension them and get them in nice and tight so they don't drift apart. Which is the trick to it all. I think Mike's just going to try and cut out that piece over there and get that in, and then from there on it will be straight, fairly a bit more straightforward. Let him get that cut out and get that bit down, and then we'll start putting the rest down, and I'll show you when we've done what we need to do today. So having got that bit of flooring down, we've been able to move the freezer over there and just about to move the fridge over to join it so that we can then carry on across. But it is a bit of a pain because I keep moving bits and pieces to be able to get the flooring down, but it is what it is, and we'll get there. So I might just got to try and get the fridge over there as well now, which will have the fridge and the freezer out of the way.
So that's all okay.
Just checking the bit. No. Just got to lift it over. It has got some bits in it, but it hasn't got masses in it, so hopefully, unless you want me to empty it, but
you won't be able to plug it in straight away because of
no.
it being moved.
Yeah, obviously, because when you move fridges and freezers, you have to let them stand again for a while, so you won't be able to plug it in. But there's nothing in there that won't survive a couple of hours. It'll still be nice and cold in there. The only thing that I've got in there that I really want to make sure is okay is my Lego lamb for next Sunday, with Easter approaching. I'm going to say we've got all the family coming for Easter Sunday, so I've got a nice big Lego lamb. I went and got that from Sainsbury's. They've all got them usual Easter offer of half price, so I do love lamb, and most of the time it's so expensive, but it's a lovely treat at Easter. So that's in that fridge. Right, there we go. Begin to actually see the fridge and the freezer now, which I think against the concrete floor is. The concrete effect floor is good. And as you know, as we're taking up this one, you see that it has been damp because it didn't have a membrane down, so it's a good thing we're putting the membrane down. Right, so they're just slightly further along. They will be once we get all the floor down, because this has just got to come a bit further this way, part way down that pillar. But for the moment, we've put it right back because otherwise we won't be able to get to the edge of the floor. Well, might not be able to get to the edge of the flooring. Right, so now it's on to the next bit of the flooring. So clean that out, get the membrane down, get the underlay down, and click the laminate in. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But it does take a bit of doing. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it now, and I'll show you when we've got everything that we need to get done today. And that will probably bring us to the end of this week's video, vlog. But anyway, we'll just get on with this now, and I'll be back later on. I just thought I'd pop back on because this has been much more of a challenge than I think we originally thought it was going to be. We will get there. We never give up. That's we'll always press on. Well, might always will. You never gives up. But the problem we're having is because we've got all the gubbins in the garage, and you've still got the washing machine and tumble dryer and the fridge and the freezer. We're having to work around them and trying to move them and then put down the membrane and the underlay and then the flooring. We've managed to get the washing machine moved over onto the new floor. Let me just step over here. I managed to get the washing machine moved over on this new floor, and Mike does have a couple of those skates, so that's helped to move it. You know, it's just the wheels you put underneath it. So our problem at the moment is just what we're going to do with the tumble dryer to get that out of the way, because of course we've got to, you've got to work in lengths. And also Mike's just realised that he's got all the plasterboard stored here, and that's too far this way. So it's a bit of a challenge.
Yes, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. This is the man that will find a way. He always does. So, right, so if we do find a way, we'll show you when we've found a way.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, so here we go. Right, it's just gone to cut the last piece, and then we'll actually have the flooring down. So, and then we'll be able to get the rest of the lining and insulation put in, plasterboard. That'll be this week's work, I guess. And then it will be the partition to go across. But you can see where that's coming now by where the edge of the floor and the edge of the ceiling are. So he'll be back in a minute. He's just up in the garage, and show you getting that last bit down, and then I think that will be it for this week. We'll sign off from this week's vlog, and be back with you next week as we continue in here. And as we get ready for Easter. I cannot believe we're only a week away from Easter. A few things I want to get done before Easter, and we'll be quite busy over the Easter holiday with all sorts of different activities, and we've got the family here Easter Sunday, so yeah, it'll be a bit of a different week next week. But just that last little bit of flooring to go down over there, and it's all done. So here he comes with the last bit of the flooring. Let's see if this goes in okay. And obviously trying to get this last corner in is not going to be easy, because you've got to lift, you've got to click, you've got to push, and there's no wiggle room really once you get to the last piece. So I'm not sure how well. It's just a very thin little bit had to go down the side there, but hopefully.
Got a bit sticking out wall.
Yeah.
So I've just got to take a nudger off of that.
Okay, I'll leave you to go and do that, and then we'll show. I'll show you when he gets that bit down. Off he goes to the shed. Backwards and forwards. I've been out here all day today doing this, so in a minute I'm going to go in and get a curry made for dinner tonight. It's Mike's favourite, and I think he deserves that tonight. And then we'll settle down for a Saturday evening, probably have a cider or something with that, and have a nice relaxed evening together after a very busy day. Well, certainly for him, a very busy day. But I do think, you know, if I pan you around to see if I can do that. It's come out a bit. Alright, so you begin to see it coming together once the other walls are in. Then we can get everything in place, and it's just kitting it out properly. But yeah, we need to look. I do like the floor, and I think it's just right for out here. Right, here he comes. Let's see if we can get this piece in, shall we?
Promising.
There we go. And this is just going to be, there it goes, click. It's the thing, you have to get that click to get it to go into place.
Right, and then
And just
it's
a knock from the end to get that last little bit in.
in theory.
Let's see.
We have
He's lost his sandwiches. Here, behind me, look.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was hiding it. Oh dear.
There will be a gap there, but the
That's alright.
tumble dryer will cover that.
Well, either that or whatever else is around it, yeah. Should do. That's where, because this is where the tumble dryer is going over this side. There we go.
Nearly, not quite.
Nearly there.
Right, where's the pull bar?
So one of the things we've realised in putting this down, well, one of the things Mike's realised in putting this down is that sometimes you need to knock it in, other times you need to use a pull bar to pull it in, which is down there. So you use this pull bar so you can hook it over the edge, and then you knock the other end and it pulls it in, which is rather clever. Are we there?
Job done.
Job done. So I think it's a round of applause for Mike. But I'm sure he's very satisfied that he's got that down for today. I think that's it for this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll wait till Monday to come back and get started on, I guess, putting more of the installation and the plasterboard up, yeah? Is that next?
Yes, I'll just put that back together so Paul can come on Monday afternoon and
Right, yeah.
finish off the plumbing.
So,
and then we're ready to move into place.
And the washing machine can go into place. I'll be able to do some washing next week.
Yeah, and then it's carrying on with the plasterboard.
And then it's the plasterboarding. So, as I say, big round of applause for Mike after another very busy week. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week with more instalments. Oh, how far we get, I don't know. As I said earlier on, next week's busy with a lot of other things because of Easter. But Mike can't see a thing. He's got dust all over his glasses. So we'll sign off here for this week. And I'll let Mike wave. And if it cuts out, it cuts out.
Bye.
It didn't cut out, so I'll cut you out. See you next week.